As you may already know, here in Lebanon we have an electricity crisis that's been ongoing for almost 30 years. The reason behind this crisis is because Lebanon doesn't have a free market of electricity production. Instead, we have only one company, which is Électricité du Liban, monopolizing the entire industry, and this company is run by no less than the government. So it's completely corrupt, completely incompetent, and unable to provide electricity the way it should do. Back in the days, like 3 or 4 years ago, this electricity company, EDL, was able to give us around 10 or 12 hours of electricity per day, which was fine, which was good enough, and the rest we can manage with. But now, after the economic crisis and after the government went completely bankrupt, this company or this monopoly over electricity is only able to give us 1 hour or at best 2 hours of electricity per day. Sometimes it doesn't give any electricity at all. How do we manage? How do we get electricity instead? In this video, I will show you how we generate electricity here on our property in the mountains of Lebanon, completely off-grid, using some of alternative energy means and some of the more traditional means. So let's see. So first of all, let's start with the official grid. This is the inverter that allows us to have official electricity grid from the Électricité du Liban. But as I already mentioned, this only gives us at best, on good days, 2 hours of electricity. So out of the 24 hours of electricity, considering all the good factors are there, this official electricity gives us only 2 hours of electricity. So what about the rest? What you can see here are two batteries. Each of these battery is 220 amp hour. So how do we use these batteries? Basically, when the electricity is on, when the official grid electricity is on, which is 1 or 2 hours per day, these batteries get recharged. So when it goes off, they can give us electricity through this inverter there, which converts the electricity from these batteries into the house. But what's the problem here? The problem is that the electricity, as I've said, at best is only on for 2 hours. So these bad boys here cannot be recharged fully. When they are fully recharged, they can give us around 6 or 7 hours of electricity when the electricity is off. But since we only have 2 hours of electricity, these batteries cannot be recharged at all, or maybe just slightly or 20% recharged. So how do we really charge these batteries? You guessed it, it's solar panels. Well, for those of you who already know me, know that I am very critical of the so-called renewable energies and green energy. But in our situation, when the electric grid is completely destroyed and monopolized by the government, this is our desperate measure. So we have a desperate situation, this is our desperate measure. And it's perfect for a country like Lebanon, where the sun shines 300 days per year, and we don't have a lot of rain. We have some stormy weeks, but most of the year we have sunshine. And during the winter, which is the worst time for sunshine, the sun rises at 7 in the morning and sets at least at 5 p.m. So this is a huge window, around 10 hours of electricity provided by the sun when the weather is like today, sunny. But it gets even better during the summer, because in summer the sun rises at 6 a.m. and it stays up until 8 p.m. So we have this huge window of at least 14 hours of electricity generated by the sun using these solar panels. But it gets even better. These solar panels can charge the batteries that I've spoken about earlier. So while they give us electricity, they are at the same time charging the batteries for when the sun goes down, and we can use those batteries to convert electricity to the house. That's also a great way, still have electricity while there's no sun. But sometimes that's not even enough. So now we'll talk about our last electricity resort. So far, we've spoken about battery-based electric power. And what is the problem with that? Other than the fact that sometimes we don't have sunshine, so we cannot actually recharge these batteries, or the electric grid is completely off. Sometimes it happens that the government doesn't give electricity for at least 1 week. These batteries cannot be recharged. But it's even worse when you know that these batteries cannot sustain some heavy equipment we need, like the washing machine or the water heater, or sometimes even long hours of running the refrigerator. So what do we do in these situations? We have this amazing machine here, amazing generator, which is a diesel generator that gives around 16 amp electricity power. This guy here gives us the last resort of electricity. So when there's no sunshine, when we need to run our heavy equipment, when there's no official grid of electricity at all, this here, all we need to do is fill it up with some diesel that we get from the gas station, and it runs perfectly. And it gives us good power, good electric power that can run machines, and it can do anything almost like smoothly. It runs the entire need for the house. So this here is very important. Everything I've spoken about is not as important. This generator here, it's the most important thing we have in the house, and we are very grateful for it. So if your house is off-grid and you want to generate electricity from your house, this is a must. Something like this is a must. I cannot stress this enough. Even if you have a wind turbine, or if you have solar panels, they're never enough. They're never enough. This guy here is what you need. So this is all I have to say. So this is basically it. This is how we generate electricity completely off-grid without the need of the electric company, official electric company, which is the EDL. But in my opinion, if you don't actually need to do all this, then don't do it. Because first of all, it's kind of expensive. It will always be to set up all this setup here. It will always be more expensive than just getting your electricity from official sources, from your electric company. So if your situation is not like mine, where your electric company gives you 24 hours of electricity per day, you actually don't need to do all this. But now you have an idea. If you want to live somewhere completely remotely, this is what you can do. So if you want to put it, crunch it up in numbers, the official grid gives us, let's say, 2 hours. From these 2 hours, the battery gives us 1 or 1.5 hours of electricity. The solar panels during winter, if we have sunshine, can give us around 10 or let's say 8 hours per day of electricity. When these batteries are recharged thanks to the solar panel, they can give us around 5 or 6 hours per day of electricity. And the rest of the days, or the rest of the hours, can be covered by the diesel generator, which we can run as much as we want, as long as we have diesel. So let's say the rest of the hours of electricity can be run by the generator. This is how we basically generate at least 20 hours of electricity per day, completely off-grid, without the need of a third party, or at least with minimal intervention by a third party. So that's basically it. For anyone who has any questions, please drop it in the comment sections, and also follow us on @Ala Podcast on Twitter, on Instagram, and please consider subscribing to this channel. Maybe if you guys would like more videos of such where I speak in English, please let me know in the comments as well. So that is all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching, and see you later.
On the beach, the sand is little bones. Watch where you go, watch where you go, watch where you go. They know how to slow time, the way they clone, the way they promote the brand. your Nebuchadnezzars.